It's pretty nice.
Coming in for a landing again at that island.
Yeah. Must be flying those people out.
Yeah, that's not good. Huh. Must be an emergency. Oh well, hope they're okay.
They never cooperate. Just stay still.
I found the trail.
You found a trail.
I found the portage. Yeah, this is a trail. I think it's a winter portage. It's quite an old trail. It is marked with little orange markers. I don't know if Craig McDonald, formerly the OMNR, did this or not, but it's an old trail. This might have been here back from the Barnett Depot days, but it goes all the way down to Alder Creek. And it's quite a jaunt. I've been all the way down there, so we did it in the spring one year. Whoa. Ah. Boy, it's grown in a lot more than the first time when I was here about 18 years ago, so things have changed. But the trail is still defined. Lots of firewood. See this here? This is old man's beard. This is a lichen. Lichen is very pollution intolerant, so this is why you don't see this kind of stuff growing in cities. So when you see this up here in the park growing, it's a good indication of very clean air. So, you know, it's not a myth coming up here the air is fresh. It really is fresh. It's much better. And then here you got this massive white pine that's got brothers and sisters growing out of it. And it's just going off. It's like a whole bunch of trees in one. And it's massive. It makes me wonder how long this has been here. Maybe 100 years or more. It's a really big tree trunk. It's kind of nice just to be walking along a trail and see stuff like this. Ready to head back, Ian?
Yep. Let's get some snacks.
Yeah, get some firewood too while we're here. I'll put him back where he belongs with nature. You want to go that way? I think you should. There you go.
Crawl away, crawl away.
I love September. Woohoo! Take a picture. This is pretty. Oh good, I can take a nice steady shot. First time that rock has ever seen paint. Yeah.
So while we're at the gator site, we got some more wood. Hey Mark.
Yeah.
When I get home, I'm gonna have to log this into my journal. Would you paddle for me? How about when we get back to the site, we're gonna have to stick it in the fire. No?
Would you like me to burn it for you too? Yeah, this is, we're on a western site on Anchor Island, and there's the anchor here on the island. I'm guessing, and this is pure speculation, that anchor came from the alligator that's down by the Barnett Depot farm remnants down in the southwest corner of Burnwood Lake.
Mark, the story behind this anchor is actually that it was stolen from here.
Yeah.
And the Friends of Algonquin found it and somehow got it back to this spot.
They were caught, right?
They were caught taking it. I don't know where they were caught, but yeah, it's pretty awesome that they were able to return it and find it.
Yeah, it is. That is awesome. There's a new piece of metal bracket on there.
They must have cut it and just took the anchor.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. It's got a little E stamp here.
Yeah. I don't know what that's for, but this thing must weigh a ton. I mean, I don't know who in their right mind would want to try and portage this out. That's silly. The plane that came in and went out from this island twice looks like it was probably ranger staff that they picked up, because the fire pit has been completely cleaned out. It's been manicured. The site's been raked. There's firewood neatly cut and stacked over there. Kudos to the staff that come in and do this sort of thing. I mean, you guys deserve medals. You guys are awesome. I love seeing that kind of stuff. I just wish all our fellow campers could behave in the same manner. But sometimes not everyone has time to cut extra wood and leave it behind. The weather plays a large part in that, I imagine. But I've seen a lot of campsites that are just in terrible condition, and that's mainly due to the abuse of campers that come through and don't bother to clean up after themselves. And I could go on, and I know a lot of fellow canoeists out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is nice, deep in the interior. Seeing this is nice. This is where I used to put I believe this is where I used to put my tent. It was up here. Is this a new hole? No. Well, yeah, I think so. I think it is a new hole. They were cutting wood back here, fresh cut wood. I don't know what they were doing, just clearing the trail a bit. Well, this is fallen trees here. Well, I think they moved the thunderbox over. It probably was there, and they just moved it over here, filled it in. Good job. Heading back to camp.
Honey, we're home. We brought wood.
You brought wood.
Nice, adventurous day.
Yes, it was. So what'd you think of all that?
That was fantastic. It was very cool to see all of that archaeological stuff. Now I'm looking forward to maybe just relaxing a little bit. And then we got a fire going.
Yeah, it's 25 to 5. I'm not even hungry, so we got a couple hours to relax before we make dinner, and basically dinner in a bag tonight, so no fancy elaborate meals. Just you know, pour in some boiling water, stir and serve, and that's fine with me. You know, what a beautiful day though, just stunning. Just turned out to be a great afternoon, and I think the evening is going to be even better. I'm hoping the skies stay clear, which means it's going to get kind of chilly tonight, which is fine by me. We maybe do some stargazing or some night photography before the moon comes up. Yeah, that would be awesome. Good night for a fire too if it gets cool. So.
Mark's sleeping, so I thought I'd come down to the water and have a little disconnect time. Just me and the crickets. This is spicy Thai peanut curry. And it's just got these peanut packets, peanut butter. You squeeze everything out, add water, away you go. Always remember to take the oxygen absorber out because you don't want to eat that. It's not good. Delicious. Ow, my fingers. Seal it up and then jiggle away.
Cool. spicy. That's good though. It's filling. I like it. Yeah, those peanuts are good.
I'm pretty relaxed right now. It was a good rest day. Are you relaxed, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good Algonquin Park day.
Yeah. Got up in the morning, had some coffee, took it easy a little bit, and then we jumped in the canoe.
It was a 3 coffee day.
It was a 3 coffee.
I had 3 coffees this morning. This was nice. Yeah.
And then we headed off to the depot.
The weather improved.
The weather did improve.
Yes. It was sunny. The wind picked up, but it was blue skies, sun, temperature rose. Very pleasant path.
Yeah. Saw some people on the way to the depot. We thought they were just campers.
Yeah,
We found out later that they're actually rangers.
Yeah, on Anchor Island, we saw some people just hanging out. It looked like they were day tripping to us from afar. They just, tents weren't set up. They were hanging out in the rocks, and it's like, were these the people that are camped on the east side of the island, or was it somebody passing through and they decided to check out the campsite? But when we got down to the depot farm, the park plane appeared.
Yeah, that was neat to see the plane just fly. It swooped down. Obviously, I must have flown over its landing path first, swooped around, and then landed right on the lake and picked them up. And then actually came back to pick up some more people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We kind of thought that people were in trouble.
Yeah, I kind of surmised incorrectly that there was some kind of medical emergency. But they came back again and picked up more people, so we didn't know. But on the way back to our campsite, we decided to check out the campsite, and I wanted to show Iain the site. I've camped there a couple times, and we got there, and the site was raked. The fire pit was clean, a nice grill on top, some chopped firewood laid aside. It's like, wow, this was prepared by rangers. This was done by a volunteer group, obviously. So there was no emergency. They were just probably on Burntwood Lake for probably the last couple of days, just going around and cleaning up all the campsites. As a matter of fact, when we first came on to Burntwood Lake at the portage, I know that there's another campsite just down the way, and the water's so low I was able to walk to it, and I walked in there, and it was just like the site on Anchor Island. It was raked, it was clean, there's a nice grill. So obviously, someone's been making the rounds on the lake, and this is what it was. It looked like it was a group of 4 people maybe. And I would love a job like that, just to be able to come in and take care of the park and help out and make it a better place. If it's a volunteer group or paid job, I don't care what it is. I'm your guy. I'm there. Would you be into that?
Yeah, I think, after a little while and a few more trips under my belt, I think I could handle something like that.
I'm ready for it right now. Look at the wood haul we got today,
Yeah, that's good.
It's definitely, for sure, we're, when we leave tomorrow morning, we're going to leave a nice stash behind for the next group. Whoever comes here, they're going to be lucky. So that's the spirit of Algonquin. Coming in, making yourself comfortable, but making those after you comfortable as well. Looking after them. And that's part of the deal, I think.
Yeah, and even before we left our site, we did a few things to prepare our site, not necessarily to leave it clean or anything, but just to there's etiquette, that there's lots of different things that you have to do before you leave and get.
For future campers, I mean, like, we hung our food packs.
And for safety, and
we put out our fire, and we made sure it was put out, because, I mean, it was a windy day, and embers, can blow up and maybe possibly, spread and catch and start a forest fire. And, we don't want that. No one wants that. And obviously this site's been here for a long time, and we don't want to be the ones that are responsible for destroying it, for future campers. And also, as well as hanging the food, we're keeping bears away. We're keeping a clean campsite. We're not habituating any bears to come to this camp and realize that that this is a food source. So future campers can come here and enjoy the site just like we have. Just a little bit of forethought and care, and this campsite can be enjoyed by everyone. So it was a good day. And what did you think of the alligator down there in the bay?
That was very cool. That was so cool to see all the bits of wood that, it's fallen into disrepair, but I mean, you can still see the paddle wheels and all that. Like, we could even see that it was at one time painted red, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of red color in the wood. It looked a lot more like the one that you saw at the logging museum. Obviously it's the one at the logging museum is well preserved. And then we walked a little westwards, and we saw the depot farm remains. There was quite a lot to see. I mean, you have to really get into the bush and look around. I mean, the more we looked, the more we found. It was quite hidden.
I recommend wearing long pants if you're gonna go do that, because I was wearing shorts, and there were a lot of raspberry bushes and sticks and different things like that.
The raspberry canes tear at your legs.
But it was really neat seeing all the remnants and kind of poking around and exploring, really, and finding all those little hidden gems.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Algonquin Park, is all, like you say, those hidden gems. It's like we had a disconnect moment there among the goldenrods with the bees, and like, who would have thunk it, like, to have a disconnect moment in this field of bees, right, and with the flowers, and we did, and it was actually quite wonderful. It was quite pleasant with the weather, and it's something I've never done before in a park. That was really neat. Thank you.
No problem. That was excellent. And then, we went we paddled back. We mentioned that we stopped at Anchor Island, and we actually saw a giant anchor. Yeah,
you mentioned that. I think a few years ago, somebody had appropriated the anchor and tried to move it or take it out of the park or something. But from my understanding, they were caught on White Trout Lake. And I guess through the efforts of Friends of Algonquin Park and volunteer staff, it was returned to its current resting place. So thank you very much, whoever's responsible. It was a nice treat to see.
Yeah, it's very cool to see that.
I guess it probably came from that alligator that we saw today.
Yeah, possibly.
But it's nice to see a piece of history return to its proper place. Obviously a proper place would be the alligator, but to see it on a campsite like that, and it's probably been there for many decades, I guess that was its final resting place. Mm-hmm. But to actually have it moved by some irresponsible campers, and then actually have it put back by a volunteer organization, I think was pretty neat. And that was a nice campsite, but...
very nice.
Yeah. I was a little unsure about camping there at this time of the year, because the wind was... Yesterday, the weather was kind of funky, so we weren't too sure about it, and that's why we chose the site that we're at now, which has actually been very good to us.
Yeah, we came back here and we relaxed a little bit more. We had more time. We didn't have to set anything up, so we just came back. We, hung out by the water.
And we got attacked by no-see-ums.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like my arms and my neck and stuff, I just like these little invisible bugs. I was getting eaten alive. You were complaining about it too.
I had some on my wrist and I was like,
yeah, I don't know where they came from. It wasn't mosquitoes. It was just, it was, I don't know what it was. But the temperature's cooling down now. The sky's clear. There's no bugs. We got a nice fire going.
we had a little spicy meal.
Mm-hmm. And the moon? The moon
was cool.
Yeah.
The sun set and then the moon came up. It was kind of like, which do I go and look at? Because one's still happening over here, and then this moon's coming up, and you could see it rising up over the treetops.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe tomorrow night might even be better. I think the moon might rise as the sun's setting at the same time, because I believe that the moon, every night the moon rises 40 minutes later. Or is it 40 minutes earlier? I can't remember. But we're going to be in Wogan Lake, so it's supposed to rain, I think, tomorrow afternoon, but hopefully it'll clear up. I don't know, we'll see. But today was a fantastic day weather-wise, and I think trip-wise. Like, the weather opened up for us for our trip to the depot farm and the alligator. It was just fantastic.
What's our actual route tomorrow? What are we going to do?
Well, tomorrow we're going to leave this campsite and paddle down. Like, we're almost at the bottom of Burnt Root Lake, but we're going to paddle down through the bottom into these narrows, and it takes us to another large bay, which is called Red Pine Bay. And at the bottom end of that, on the southeast corner, is a portage. I think it's like 700 something meters into Lake Lemire, and that's quite a beautiful lake. I've paddled through it many times, but interesting enough, I've never ever camped on that lake. We're going to paddle through that lake, and there's like a 650 meter or 85 meter portage. Yeah, 685 meters into a Wogan Lake. And Wogan Lake that's a pretty lake too. There's some really big cliffs on that lake. If the weather's cooperative, maybe we can climb up to the top and get a really nice vista from up there.
Awesome.
Before we head maybe further down to the lake in the east end on Parks Bay, we can maybe pick a campsite down there, and there's some nice campsites there. Maybe do some fishing on the way. I did fish a little bit on Burnt Root today, but I didn't catch anything. It was a bit windy going one way, so we had the wind at our back, and we were going pretty fast for trolling. And then coming back, we had the wind in our face, and we were going probably just the right speed, but I didn't get any nibbles. So never have caught anything on Burnt Root. Burnt Root hasn't been good to me, so that's to be expected. Wogan's been good to me though, so maybe in Wogan tomorrow I'll catch dinner, so we'll see. Yeah. Good fire tonight. A lot of firewood, eh?
Did you like my jokes?
Oh, the wood joke? Yeah, they were good.
Nothing like a couple of dad jokes, eh?
Yeah. I'm ready for bed. How about you?
I think I could sleep.
Yeah.
Especially with a bit of paddling tomorrow.
I think this fresh air is really starting to get to me. It's just like, oh my God, it's so good. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's put stuff away and hang the food pack and hit the hay. Oh yeah. Hey, are you ready to go? Okay, today's.
It doesn't look any better, Mark. Are we gonna try and make it through this?
Yeah! Makes it feel alive. Woo! Oh, I forgot. I'm Mark. That's Ian. And this is beautiful Algonquin Provincial Park. We're traveling through Canada's oldest provincial park in search of history from generations past. Remnants of an alligator. Find out when this was built and for what purpose it was for.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Join us on this adventure full of history, natural beauty, and all things Algonquin. Let's go camping. That'll dry in a hurry. Yeah! Those titanium. Ah! Now this is solitude. Yum, yum, yum. Good.
We're getting close to having a puddle on our doorstep. Don't push it too much, I'm hanging on.
Yeah. This is Mark in the Park. That was awesome.
well, it's 7:45. I was woken up this morning around 4:30 to a wind and a tarp flapping in the wind. I'm like, oh, okay. And then 2 minutes later, more wind, and I'm like, uh-oh, the wind, you know, it woke up. So it's been like this all morning. It's really very fall-like, very, very cool, very windy, very brisk, and from my understanding, the winds are going to pick up today. We're going to get winds gusting to 40 kilometers to northeast wind, and we're going from Burnt Root through, you know, down to Red Pine Bay, through Lemure, and into Hogan Lake. So we're going to be like in the wind pretty much the whole way. So I think we're going to be tired where we're going by the time we get to Hogan. And if we get to Hogan, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way down to Parks Bay, the other end, or we're going to have to hide in the west side of the lake. So we're just packing up kind of quickly here and want to get on water as soon as we can, so we can kind of avoid, or you know, the worst of it, or at least make some headway before we encounter the worst of the wind that's yet to come. I hear there might even be the risk of a thunderstorm tonight, so I got a feeling it's going to warm up. Yeah, so it should be an interesting day. Could be an exhausting one. We'll see.
Trying to take this sail down without dropping it in the fire.
Hey, here you go. Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Cooking on the box. Thunderbox. Cooking on the Thunderbox.
We're using the fuel or the fumes from the Thunderbox.
Never thought of that. Maybe we should be doing that.
Boom! Just eating some oatmeal here behind the tree because it's really windy. We'll be heading out soon. It's gonna be an interesting battle today.
Hey, are you ready to go? Okay, today's.
It doesn't look any better, Mark. We're gonna try and make it through this.
Yeah, makes you feel alive. Woo! You got your life jacket on.
All right.
Okay, today's about safety.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna try and make it point to point, no open water paddling. Try and get across to a nice sheltered area, reprieve, then go back at it again. I honestly don't know if we're gonna make it to Hogan Lake today. We might have to maybe stay on Lemure.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a go.
What are the things that I need to know paddling into a wind like this?
You gotta paddle like stink. You're the engine of the canoe, so you gotta paddle. When you get really strong wind gusts, don't waste your energy trying to fight it. Just ease off a bit. Just try and keep us from going backwards.
Right.
My job is, I'm gonna be obviously trying to keep us into the wind, because if I lose it, if the wind catches the tip of the canoe and starts to flip it around, we gotta commit. We gotta turn it right around. Otherwise, we're gonna flip and dump into the drink. And we don't wanna do that. Now, if we do dump into the drink, okay, don't panic. You got your life jacket, the water is still warm. We'll stick with the canoe, and we'll, depending upon the situation, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But you will float, you won't drown, you'll be fine. Okay, I know it's Friday the 13th today, but I think we'll be okay. Alrighty?
Fingers crossed.
Any questions?
Nope. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna have about a 40-45 minute paddle to that far shore, then we can have a break.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, one question. Like, at what point do you say, this is not what we're going to do? Like, I mean, obviously, in this site right here is so much wind. It's so cold. You saw us eating breakfast in the, you know, in the shelter behind a tree.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is doable. This is doable. It's just not going to be fun. The whitecaps aren't that bad right now. The wind, see, now it's starting to pick up and gust a bit. When it comes to the point where we can't make any headroom, then that's just...
Then we come back.
Yeah, then we can't do it.
Okay.
We're windbound.
All right, well, let's give it a shot.
Alrighty, let's go. Woohoo!
Woo. I'm glad I kept my sweater on because it's pretty chilly. Hopefully the sun comes out a little bit later today, but I think it's going to be rain.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Put this on so it doesn't roll around.
Yeah. We're just waiting for a lull in the wind before we launch. I don't know, it's supposed to be like winds gusting to 40, but it feels like it's sustained 40, gusting to 60. This is... It's going to be an annoying day to be on the water, but we'll make it. This is fine. This is doable. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Let's get out there, man. Not yet. Okay. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Whoa. Okay, you can switch sides. There we go. Woohoo!
Not so bad. Wait for the next gust to come. We made it, Mark.
Yeah, it really helps having you up front there. You're a strong bow paddler. You mentioned you've done some dragon boating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about their technique is it's all about power. So a lot of pushing down on the top hand, and you know, that way you're not, you know, you kind of divide up the power between your arms and using your back as well and
Yeah.
reaching.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was either. Like, it, you know, it was manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we got out there, it wasn't as scary as it looked. I mean, it was still difficult, but you're like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah, it took us just under 8 minutes to get over here.
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking 40 minutes. So
I'm glad it wasn't 40 minutes because I would have been exhausted.
yeah, I've had paddles like that.
So what does the rest of the paddle look like? So we just crossed that one section there.
We just got to go around the bend here into a little into the wind again for just probably 2 or 3 minutes, and then we enter a narrows, and we should be okay there for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to come out onto the top end of Red Pine Bay. So I think we're going to have to stick along the east shoreline until we get into the bay proper, where it really opens up, and we're going to probably have about twice the distance of this exposed to wind.
All right.
But I don't know, we'll have to see how the wind is traveling through the bay. We might be able to stick on one shoreline and stay out of the wind. We'll have to play it by ear.
Okay,
But we're doing good so far.
Yeah. Should we get to it?
Yeah, let's do it. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Okay, let's go into the wind. Gone with the wind.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. This looks intense. rather than sticking to this shore and just being.
The wind can really play with you.
Finally, the portage.
More paddling ahead.
There's two campsites on the east shore at the east end of Lake Lemure, and I'm thinking, see how we feel when we get to them. If it starts to rain and we're tired, maybe we should just set up camp. Around that corner. Come with us.
I'll just wait with the car. Yeah?
Oh yeah, you're gonna like it.
Let's do it.
Let's get in here and get set up before that rain hits.
Yep.
Woohoo!
I think I see a little bit of rain off that way.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the canoe backwards so you can get out on this rock here that I'm standing on.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, the legs. Oh, wow.
Here, let me just get you back a little bit more. There you go. Is that good?
Yep.
Just gonna... Oh, this is slippery. Okay, is that enough room for you?
Yep.
I got it. I got the canoe. Okay. There you go.
Yep.
Hey, where you going?
Just moving stuff out of the way.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're on a site on Lemure, the southeast side of Lemure. I've never actually camped on this lake, so this is kind of a bit of a treat for me personally. So we're facing west, got a big west-northwest opening to the lake. The wind has died off a bit, but the clouds are moving and you can tell there's rain coming. So we decided to check this site out, and I climbed up these rocks here, and the first thing I saw was this log from shore, and I'm like, I hope the fire pit's not there, but it's a bit deceiving. You get up here, and actually I can feel a few raindrops already. So you come on up in here, and it's like, oh, okay, so the fire pit's not here. That's not too bad. So you just go in here, and yeah, it drops down. There's like all those hemlock trees. is very protected. There are some opening spots. There's great, no, that's not the campsite. Campsite's over here. This is where the real winner is. We got some nice flat spots there. We got a lot of hemlock shading over the fire pit and where we're gonna be putting our tent. There's a nice fire pit. This does face south, where the wind's coming from, but right now it's side off and we're actually just like in a little bay, so there's not gonna be too much wind coming in here. Even from the west, we're well protected. So, and there's a nice fire pit and bench system, and there's even some firewood left behind for us. So, thank you very much, previous campers, and kindling. So we're gonna batten down the hatches and get ready for this rainstorm that's about to come. I think the wind's gonna pick up again too. So, this will be nice in here. We'll be protected. It's really interesting. It's just from the water, it's deceiving. It just looks like a really terrible sight, and then you get in here, and it's really quite nice. I think we're gonna have a good evening in here tonight, safe and sound, and see what tomorrow's weather brings. Maybe we can get back en route, but we're just so exhausted from the paddling and the wind. And how many hours have we been out here now? 3 hours, 3.5 hours now. And we're just tired. And rather than push ourselves, and that's what happens. You get on a portage and you're tired and you start stumbling and you fall down and, you know, twist your ankle or whatever. So I think this is the better option, just to be safe. And so then we can move on and maybe get back en route the next day. So I'm gonna go help Iain set up the tent because I'm already feeling raindrops. So I think it's time to get to work and get ready to ride out this storm. Hopefully we don't get any thunderstorms. Yeah, alrighty. Some help there, Iain?
Let's do it. We got our tent set up. We got our food over here. We're gonna have a little fire over there, hopefully, if things hold off. And everybody will be happy campers.
Okay, put the canoe to bed.
Where are you?
Right here.
There you are.
Canoe's in bed.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Did you sing it a lullaby?
I just told it not to go anywhere. not any of those midnight journeys. Yeah.
What do you think, bud?
We're sitting pretty, man.
All right.
It's obvious, you can hear it's raining now. I can feel it, I can see it, but we're in before the real stuff hits, so that's good. That's what matters. If we had pushed on, we'd be paddling in the rain right now.
We actually are going to use our tarp as, I think, cover for the other tent because I think it has a few holes in it. So I'm going to just bring that over to them.
Tent? What? Oh, okay.
I'll leave this here with you guys. And yeah, because you know the camera guys need to stay dry, right?
I think I just might go into the tent and have a nap for an hour, sleep off the rain a bit, and start thinking about dinner later on. Nice and dry in here and warm. Here comes the rain again, raining on my head like a memory.
Thought I could sit here for a bit, but I think it's starting to get a little heavier. This tree was good shelter for the light rain, but I think it's starting to come in heavier. Gotta take the bad with the good, right? Yeah, it was pretty close to under. I didn't see the flash, but yeah, it's something to worry about a little bit. I'm also thinking that maybe we need to move our tent. Yeah, I think so. We'll wait for Mark to wake up.
Dry out there?
Is it dry out here?
Yeah.
No.
Are you dry out there? No?
No.
What's this? Raindrops in here? What's going on? Oh no.
Yep. We're getting close to having a puddle on our doorstep.
Okay, that's fine. I've had puddles before. When camping goes bad.
Don't let it rip on that log. Get it here. We'll put our ground sheet down.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Bit more this way. Okay.
Feel better about that. Crisis averted. You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night in a puddle.
Yeah, I thought you were yanking my chain there. I'm like, oh, you have a swimming pool. Like, what? Yeah, right, whatever. Look at it now. Yeah, a lot of rain. I think it was a good decision to set up camp where we did, just not put the tent where we did.
Yeah.
But it's okay now. Would have been nice to be able to throw the tarp over the fire pit. That would be a nice setting right now. It's like lots of trees and coverage and benches and stuff.
I guess if you can afford it, 2 tarps would be a good plan.
Well, I've got another tarp at home, but you know, 1 tarp's usually enough. I didn't think somebody would lend us a leaky tent, right? So the person shall remain nameless to protect their identity. The rain has almost stopped, but everything is just soaking wet. So I went into the forest looking for some birch bark paper, found some really tiny amounts of it, and went around like the biggest hemlocks I could find, and went on the one side that was pretty much shadowed from the rain and scooped up as many dry needles as I could. Started a nice little pile of it. Cheated with a little bit of fire starter. It's like a little cube of sawdust and wax held together, and I lit that, put that in there, and covered with a lot of dead pine boughs. And it was going, then it started to go out, and I put more branches on, and now it's a nice warm smoldering mass inside. So eventually all the twigs underneath are going to start to dry out, and it's going to start to catch fire again. I give it maybe a bit more air, it'll go. Whoa! Well, you don't want to smother the fire, you just want to give it enough energy that it can be self-sustaining, and that's what I'm trying to do. However, everything's wet, so I'm just trying to warm what's on top of it, or dry what's on top of it out, so that it too will eventually catch fire, and it'll get hotter and hotter. And it's slowly doing that now, so pretty soon I can build up a hot fire. Remember, it's all the wood on the outside that's wet, not on the inside. The inside of the wood is still dry, so it just has to get past that first few layers of damp. wood, and then it won't catch fire. So now I'm at the point of almost smothering it. I gotta open this up. Just being very patient and meticulous. You can take like the smallest twigs off a tree and it'll dry fairly quickly under a hot flame. And as they do, they begin to ignite and generate more heat. So you just basically have to start off really small, and then you build yourself up bigger and bigger twigs into branches. The wind's starting to kick up again. It's a lot of work. But what else are you gonna do? And it's warm too.
I'll give you a hand, Mark.
Okay, thank you. 4 hands are better than 2. So I was just about to start skinning some branches with a knife so I could get to the dry wood underneath and just peel them into the fire. When our cameraman put the camera down and started chiming in with me, blowing the fire, adding more twigs. So, 4 hands are better than 2. And now look at the result. We got a nice fire going. And lined the fire pit with logs on one side that we found here at the site already. So the heat from the fire will dry those out. And then we can start using them as well. So on a day like today, a fire like this is just such a mood changer. It just makes everything so much better. It's better than huddling in your sleeping bag trying to get warm and being miserable. This is awesome.
First injury of the trip. Just a scrape. Yep. Good thing we brought a first aid kit. We were cutting a log, and we put some of that on there. And yeah, I was pushing down on it, and I just got away from me and hit a rock. You just bandage it up. Put some of that on there. When you're doing this, you never really want to touch the clean part of the Band-Aid. Because that goes right onto the wound. Boom, done. Easy peasy.
I just want a piece of meat. Thank you. Come again. Scoop. Summer sausage.
I might go hide in the tent. It's really raining out there right now. Yeah. I'm trying to like dry some of my clothes on the little hanging thing here. It was a pretty exhausting day. But we made it here, and we got here before the rain came, and we got set up, and not too wet, so not sure what we're gonna do for dinner, but maybe I'll just go to sleep. Anyway, hopefully it stops raining soon. Alright, it stopped raining, so I thought I would get up and make some dinner because I'm really hungry after all that paddling. This one's kind of neat. It's got a bunch of lines on it so you know where to fill up the water to. And then this is cheese enchilada ranchero. Woohoo! Alright, let's, we got our water boiling over here on the fire. So just waiting for that to get going. And maybe we can wake Mark up with some dinner. That looks pretty good. It looks like there's like little nacho chips in there, but you want to make sure that you take the oxygen absorber out. Don't want to eat that. I'm thinking about it, and all those nacho chips are going to get soggy. I kind of want them to be crunchy. We'll see how it goes. Let's say that's boiling. I might leave it a few more minutes just because it's lake water. And that is smoky. Right in the eyes. Oh. It's so steamy I can't see where the line is. I think what you're supposed to do is crease it, but that looks about at the right level.
An acronym for what? I don't know, and I was thinking of,
It's just starting to drizzle again.
Yeah, that's more than drizzle, that's rain. That was drizzle 5 minutes ago, now it's actually rain.
That looks pretty good.
What's this?
This is ranchero cheese queso cheese enchilada ranchero.
That's not the same as jambalaya.
No, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Survey says
Titanium grip by the edges. Thank you. Not much flavor there. Mix it up a bit.
yeah, I didn't really shake it in the bag.
A little bit of flavor in the rice. Yeah, it just has to be mixed up a bit more.
Works in a pinch, eh? Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, here comes the real rain.
I need to go get my rain jacket. This is not gonna cut it.
I'm gonna go hide behind a tree. All right, welcome to Talking by the Fire from Afar under the tarp, Friday 13th edition.
It was a wet one.
Yeah. Well, once we got here, it got wet. Yeah, so we avoided all the rain. We paddled and portage for 5 hours, or no, 4 hours. It was a 4-hour day. It was a short day today. But it was really, really windy on Burnt Route, trying to get off Burnt Route. It was a bit of a battle. And you paddled most amazingly, sir. Yes, good job. Yeah,
It was a tough go. It was you know, I was unsure at the beginning of like how it was gonna go, and we just powered through it, got across, and it was actually neat because we were able to kind of tuck away. We'd do little stretches and we'd tuck away behind an outlet or a little point, an island, and we made our way up the bays, and you know, we were able to get a little rest in before getting back at it.
That's the way to do it, is not to fatigue yourself too much. Just go as far as you can and make it to that next rest stop, and then take a break and then carry on. We passed a soloist on the way. He was heading up Burnt Root Lake, so he had the wind at his back. Lucky guy. He was double blading it too. So, but yeah, that wind was intense. And going down Red Pine Bay was a bit windy too, of course. But when we got onto Lake Lemure, the wind seemed to have lost some of its power. But we paddled over to the south side. We were out of the wind.
Yeah.
But even as we paddled east along the lake, the wind seemed to lose its strength. But I think that's because the weather was moving in. We saw that cloud behind us. You could tell the rain was coming. So that's when we made the decision, maybe we should just pick a site now and avoid having to deal with the rain. We were quite tired. I know you were tired. And, why push ourselves, right? Just be safe and get off the water and get camp set up before the rain kicks in. And just as we got the tents up, it started to rain. So good job all around.
I tried to do the food barrel and the canoe at the same time on that portage, but I made it up. There was a number of hills, and there was one in the second last one. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it up this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Got to the top, and then I saw another one. I was like, nope, I'm putting this down.
Yeah.
And then I continued with the barrel to the end, but.
Again, there's that psychological factor. As soon as you see that hill, you're like,
oh, yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it though. It's just, I had no problem. I came back and carried the rest of it over. But yeah, that's a steep portage when you're going from Red Pine Bay into Lemure. It just keeps climbing. But even going the other way, I imagine if you're going from Lemure into Red Pine, it still climbs too. Remember how steep it was coming down?
Yeah.
So imagine.
It's even tricky. I mean, I was imagining going the rest of the way, like what it would have been like to have the canoe on your head, and there's boardwalks and like parts where you're going down. That's tricky.
Yeah.
It's got to be tricky.
Imagine if we did that in a rainstorm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you would have the cover over your head, but
I'm thinking more of the footing, right? It'd be all slippery and yeah.
What was really neat too is that we saw moose tracks, and there's some thunder.
Yeah. The storm's getting closer. Yeah, you tell me about the moose tracks. Yeah, I saw some too, but yeah, they seem pretty fresh.
Yep, right in the mud. I'm like, who's walking down in the mud? Who's walking down there? Oh, and the thing was like, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it was pretty big, yeah. Still haven't seen any moose yet, just lots of waterfowl, cormorants and loons and mergansers, and that's all we ever seem to see. We want moose. Hello, you hear that? Moose. Maybe tomorrow.
Yep. We got a ways to go. Tomorrow we got to finish what we kind of started today.
Yeah, we got, I think tomorrow we're going to end up with 5 portages. Come on, Jeff's map, load up. Alrighty. Yeah, so we got the 685 into Hogan. We also have the east end of Lemure, which could be a sludge paddle, I don't know. We got to paddle all the way down to the other end of Hogan and the Gypsy Bay, and then we got 3 more portages, 215, a 110, and a 1495. And then we'll be into Phillips Lake for the night, or Phillip Lake.
Well, after Unicorn Hill, I think I can take on anything.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think that the 1495 doesn't really climb at all. It's fairly level. I know there's a drop on one of them. I think it's the 685 tomorrow. There's a drop right before Hogan. But the next day we've got going into Radiant. We got a 1,085 meter portage, and that's like along an old logging road. So it's
flat.
Quite easy, yeah. And then we got the 3,565 meter portage in the Radiant. And that's actually quite a nice walk through the forest. Maybe the first 600 or 800 meters is really nasty, but after that it's super flat and it's really easy to do. But for tomorrow, Yeah, we're going to be on Wogan Lake, and there's a cliffs of Wogan. If the weather's half decent, maybe we can hike up to the top and get a nice view. Because we've been noticing color change in the last day or so on some of the hilltops. I would say maybe 10% color change, but it's noticeable. You can see it, right? So maybe we'll get something decent if we can get up to the top. So what did we have for dinner?
Oh, we had some, what was it? Cheese enchilada ranchero.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I found, well, it's not that I didn't like it, I just thought it was kind of bland. There just wasn't seeming much flavor to it. But it was kind of nice to put some hot food in our belly because, you know, it's been damp all afternoon and evening now, so. But, we got a fire going, but it's raining and we're just getting wet standing there, you know, so next time we get a lull in the rain, we'll probably head back over to the fire, but I don't know, it's getting late. What time is it now? It's 20 to 10, so maybe have one more hot chocolate like you suggested, and then maybe hit the hay. Like you're yawning already. Right, yeah, you're ready for bed too. But hopefully it won't rain or thunder too much tonight. I'd like to get some sleep. But yeah, I mean, kind of a short day today, but from a safety perspective, it was a successful day. So we're here, we're alive, we're fed, ready to go to bed, and I don't know, I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
No. It's been a lot of fun so far. Lots of, different experiences, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of it.
Yeah. Should be a lot of fun, and I hear the weather is going to improve because we have weather radio. We're able to monitor the weather, and we hear that probably starting tomorrow or Sunday the weather is going to improve significantly, so hopefully we'll have more to talk about than just the rain and the wind. Hey, paddle, 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 paddle.
Whoa, boy!
Beautiful. Morning. How'd you sleep last night?
I slept pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, a bit of tossing and turning, but yeah, it was great.
I slept amazing. I feel fantastic today. I got like this spring in my step. I just want to go. I feel fantastic. And look at the view down this lake. It's just stunning. You can see some color change coming out now.
Yeah, you can definitely see it there.
The air doesn't feel damp anymore. It's mild. The temperature's going up. The wind is still going. The waves are going our way. The wind's going our way. I feel really great. We're getting deeper in the interior now. We got some portages to do today, including a 1,495 meter portage at the end. I feel confident. I feel ready for this. I got my mojo going. I just want to go deeper and deeper in the park. Today, this is going to be nice finally to have the wind at our back, and we can just chug along into Wogan Lake and beyond into Phillip. So this will be great. You'll like Phillip Lake. It's a pretty lake, and also too the cliffs in Wogan. I'm thinking maybe we could stop there for a snack and maybe scramble up to the top and get a nice panoramic view of the whole area, including the big marsh that's down at the southwest corner of the lake.
And it sounds like the weather's going to change for us. I think it's going to get a little bit warmer, maybe some sunnier.
Yeah, we're deserving of this. It's like, all right.
We did a lot of hard work to get here, so...
Algonquin Park's like, okay, you put up with me yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I'll just have a little bit of mercy on your soul today. And it's got the best is yet to come. I think we're going to have some fantastic days ahead of us.
Welcome to Ian's kitchen. I'm gonna make breakfast, but forget savory, this is gonna be sweet. I know Mark is gonna have a yum 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 for us for this next treat. We're gonna do apple crisp, backcountry style. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a hole in our apple. And these knives are sharp and they can get away on you, so watch out. Cinnamon and brown sugar mix. Get that in there. Making a mess. Then granola bar. You can probably have a lot of fun with these and put all sorts of different types in. Just put this on the fire and we wait for it to warm up and get all nice and amazing. Oh, just found a nice spot for it. There we go. There's our apple crisp on the fire. Let's see if Mark likes it. You ready to have your mind blown, Mark?
Yum, yum, yum. Wow, this is like coated with cinnamon or brown sugar or something or everything. It's just like, So this is like apple crisp, yeah?
This one's a great one for the kids. We're gonna start with an orange. We're gonna just cut the top part off. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spoon out all of the insides. And you can just, you almost have a whole bunch of nice slices at the end. If you can get it going there. Basically, you just follow the instructions. You put the contents of the pouch into a microwave-safe mug. Well, we don't have mugs, we're gonna use the orange. 2 tablespoons of milk or water. Stir with a spoon until batter is smooth. Microwave on high for 55 seconds. Well, we don't have a microwave, so we're gonna use the fire. And now we put it in the oven. Nice and toasty. Moment of truth. I'm gonna let this sit for 2 minutes, cool off, and just dive in. Who doesn't like a little cookie dough, you know? This is part 2 of your breakfast treat.
I haven't even had breakfast yet. This is awesome. Dessert for breakfast. Oh, this smells... Oh my God. Wow.
Yum, yum, yum. Good job, man. You're hard. This is awesome. I don't need breakfast now.
Hey, save some for me. I want some of that.
Okay, here you go. No, wait. That is really good.
Nice and gooey.
Yeah.
I think this is the way a brownie should be. Nice and gooey and soft and whatever.
And it's not sickly sweet either. It's just perfect.
Yum, yum, yum. I'm stealing your catchphrase, Mark.
Okay.
Paddle, 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 paddle. Wow. There we go. Whee!
It is a lot wavier than it was when we left.
Yeah, this is worse than yesterday. Holy cow. Yeah, I know. I don't want to tip.
That was, I'd say that was,
More intense than yesterday.
yeah, more airier than leaving burnt root. It's nice to have the wind at your back, but that was really wavy, and you know, it was hard to keep the boat steady. And
Oh yeah, when we turned, I almost lost it there.
yeah.
Forget Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th. Woo, hairy. We had 3-foot waves there. I mean, that was getting silly. I don't know what we're gonna get on Hogan.
Do you see this ridge road?
Yeah, we're going around it.
All right. I want to impale myself, but
No, hey, that would be
beaver chew.
wouldn't be too productive. Not as shallow as I thought it would have been in here. I mean, I can hit the mud, but it was a lot shallow when I was in here one year in August. It was like we were scraping the bottom, so bottom of the canoe was scraping the mud. So it's probably a few feet higher than it was that time. So we're good. We're just cruising across this into the portage to Hogan. And I think Hogan's going to be willy-nilly going down that lake. I got a really good feeling that either today or tomorrow we're going to see a moose. So.
See the osprey nest, Mark?
Yeah. Don't see anything there. Out gathering some food, or maybe it's abandoned, or the other one further back in the bay, maybe that's his summer cottage. Yeah, that's the portage. I don't see a dock anymore. I guess that's long gone. No, just pull up alongside it.
Oh, what a landing. Starting to rain, a little spot.
Starting to rain, a little bit of rain. Time to get off the water. I wish this portage was like this for 685 meters, all boardwalk. It would be really nice. Ah. taking some shots of this beautiful marsh as we make our way onto Wogan Lake. Water here is deep, so I'm thinking there's probably a beaver dam or two up ahead. We're gonna have to come down. So yeah, get on the Wogan and hopefully get to the cliffs in one piece. I don't know how wicked and wild the wind and waves are gonna be out on the lake, but at least they'll be with us. Oh, here we are, cliffs of Wogan Lake. Let's go for a hike. Oh, look at that, an old fire pit.
Right there. Ow!
Big tree in the way here. I'm the king of Wogan Lake. Oh, what a view up here. You can see the colors are really starting to come out now in the hills. Ah, it's beautiful.
Holy smokes.
solitude. Solitude supreme. Such an expansive view and not a canoe in sight. No dogs barking, doors slamming shut, car horns honking. Just you and nature. That's it.
You know, I've been to a lot of places around the world. Australia, Africa, hanging out on oil rigs in the middle of the Atlantic. And I've had lots of moments like this, and it's special, you know?
It certainly is.
Makes you feel small.
Yeah.
And appreciate, you know, what's around you.
Very humbling. On a day like this, you look at those tiny canoes down there and we're gonna go out in that. So helpless and alone and small out there. So I think we've come to a consensus. We're gonna stay in Wogan tonight. We're planning to push on the Radiant, but or Phillip Lake actually. But the waves and the wind have just been a little too much. And we're worried about for our camera crew losing their gear if we dump. There's a few tense moments there coming up in the islands. Waves are really wind and waves are really strong. I was starting to lose a little bit of control. So oh, here comes the rain. It's on Wogan Lake now. Unless the wind just suddenly peters out. I think it's probably a smart idea just to make camp here, because wind is really strong today. Even with the wind at your back, it's just a little too much. So, oh look, a wasp nest, or remains of a wasp nest. I think it was hanging off here.
Oh, there's still some in there.
Is there?
Yeah, look up. Look at the branch.
Oh, let's keep going. Stupid tree in the way. That probably happened in the windstorm. Yesterday or today.
It's pretty amazing to see what we just saw all the way up there. And I was going to say that my favorite part of the day so far was going through the marsh there, but getting up there and seeing that view and bushwhacking back was pretty fun. Although I think I have like tree branches and stuff down my shirt.
Looking here, oh, it looks calm till you get about halfway out there, and then it's like, It's very deceiving. You can see the white caps and the waves, and so you get out there on this angle, you'd be in trouble. You'd have to head back. If you wanted to go down to the other end of Wogan Lake, it's probably best to paddle all the way back to the island to do campsites on it, into the shadow, and then paddle out and then get pushed down the lake. Here you just get pushed back down this bay behind the cliffs. Not a good idea. And there was a few willy-nilly moments when we were coming down the lake, and I heard the TV crew, like, they were like, whoa. So it was like, yeah, and even for me it was a bit creepy too. I mean, it's just, I don't like that sensation when the waves and the wind are going different directions behind you, and you're kind of sacrificing a bit of control for that speed gain. So it's just you have to gauge what's worth it and what isn't, and I don't think it's worth it going down here right now. Who's pumped? Hey, man.
Not going anywhere.
Fat bastard in the back. Oops. Holy cow!
we just got to this campsite, and you can even see that there's some ruins here. It looks like it's got some weird things attached to it. String? Is somebody using it for something? Were they trying to carry it somewhere? Don't take stuff, people. Leave it. Leave it alone. Because then we get to come and see it.
Nice gravel beach landing.
I suppose on sunny days you can have a nice swim off here.
Yeah. Or in the spring, you would be right here. You just walk in.
Yeah.
Then over here we got the do not set your tent down flood zone here. It's a great spot to put your tent if you like swimming at night. And actually this isn't a bad spot right here. And can come on with a walk with me. A nice gravel beach on this side facing west, so you get your sunsets. Beautiful. That's where we came from in that marsh. Well, you can't really tell now with the lighting, but we came from that direction, from Lake Lemire. So yeah, that's pretty dandy. What do you think, Ian?
Very doable, very doable. Where's the hot tub?
Oh, you ask so much. Gee. Go jump in a lake. So yeah, there's probably a spot over there you could pitch a tent, but you know, it's a bit breezy, so. And there's one.
This would be a lot of fun for like kids to rip around on.
Yeah, in the summertime.
Great big open site.
There's a spot down there too. It's all hemlocks in here mainly, so. Then you got the main trail back down to the common area or fire pit area. So you could probably put a tent back here if you wanted to. Another spot or two down there. So, yeah, we got some old benches here, some improvised benches. Improvised table. This is good for tarping if the wind's coming from the wrong direction. And we've got a hat rack here. There we go. Yeah, home sweet home for a night. We tried to go back out again, and it's just like, no, it's too risky. It's an unnecessary risk. There's no need for us to go out there and dump and wreck all the gear and get ourselves wet. So we decided to come back to this site. We weren't too happy with the other one. So this is the best of the two, right? So we have to cut up some firewood though, so we'll just get our tent set up and then go grab some firewood and then think about dinner and then relax for the evening. Have a couple hours and maybe relax. Have a nice fireside chat tonight by an actual fire. Maybe talking by the fire with a campfire. That sound good, yeah? Yeah. And that's the 50-cent tour on Hogan Lake. All right, let's get camping.
My glassware was in there. My china. My crystal bowl. Got some wood. Well, I was out taking some pictures. It's a pretty neat island. That's for sure. Lots of cool stuff growing. A lot of mushrooms. Stuff like that. It's pretty sweet. It's starting to sprinkle, so I came back. Yeah.
This is the life. It's a good life.
We thank this tree who gave its life so we can have warmth. Don't do what I did. Cut a hole right in your rain pants. Could be your knee. But it just caught it. Just caught it and ripped it.
Ian, can you make dinner tonight? I'm really tired.
I don't know, who was doing all of the hard work in the front of the boat?
You?
Okay, tonight, ramen noodles. And we've actually added some veggie flakes in here, and we're gonna rehydrate some of the beef that Mark dehydrated in his kitchen. And to add some of that beef flavor back in there, because we took all the fat out, we've got some stock cubes there, beef stock cubes. This gives you just a little bit more protein, you know, for the day all that hard work that you did. Delicious. And then we're gonna add water. We're gonna add this until it's saturated. And now for the noodles. We're gonna split these in half because they're really long and we don't, it's just a little bit easier on the fork. Veggie flakes, you can get these at any of your, a bulk food store, stuff like that. All right, now for the flavor packs. We're gonna add one, add two, that looks like beef again, doesn't it? That overflowing with amazing. It's time to serve. There you are, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Good. Tasty.
Delicious. Get your veggies in there, get your meat, get carbs. Amazing.
Protein with the beef.
We did a lot today, eh, Mark?
Yeah, we got off the camp pretty late, like noon. Or was it 11? I don't know, something like that.
We had some camera issues, a little moisture getting into the inside of the camera, but we got that looked after and got on our way.
Yeah, the wind and waves were they were a problem, that's for sure.
How'd it look from the back? Because it was pretty hairy at the front.
Pretty funny.
Watching those waves, just like
pretty funny watching you go up higher than me. I'm just
Whoa.
on a roller coaster there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really choppy, and I don't mind having the wind at my back, but that was just a little too much. That's just like you're starting to lose control. It was easy to lose control. That's, and it had to be on top of your game there. Both you in the front and me in the back. We both had to know what we were doing. Had to be very careful. I know that when we were on Wogan Lake, there was a few dicey moments for me, as well as I think for the TV crew too.
Yeah. But we did that portage. It was like six something.
685.
685.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good hike.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the boardwalk at the beginning was it's a nice change of pace for portaging.
I had to stop as we started just because there was a fork in the road. I didn't know which way to go, but the water was to our right, so we kind of went to the right.
Yeah, I don't know what that is that goes to the left. I have no idea. I'm glad we didn't go that way. Probably peters out, or maybe it leads to an old logging road or something. Maybe that's how they brought in all that wood.
Well, when we went in, it was raining. Just started to rain, and then we did our hike, and we didn't really get rained on through the hike, but through the portage. But we got to the other side, and it was almost like a different day. Like it changed a little bit.
Yeah, the sun came out.
Sun came out a bit.
Bit of drizzle here and there, but I mean, yeah, it was nice, and we had that lovely marsh that you really liked.
Oh man, that was amazing. I think that was my favorite paddling moment, at least for the trip.
Yeah,
It was just so cool to paddle through the reeds, and I kept expecting a moose to be on the other side of the next bend, and it was just all twisty and turning, and there's stumps here and there, and it opens up, and it was amazing. I love that.
I remember paddling through there about 10, 12 years ago, and it was kind of like a day like today, but there was more rain, and it was raining. Not hard, but it was a good rain, and I happened to see a cow moose and a calf sitting just like right in the edge of the forest, like where the rain, to avoid the rain coming down, and they were just looking at us, and they were probably just waiting for the rain to die down before they'd go out and feed again. So that was really neat, but we didn't see any of that today.
No moose, and then Hogan Lake started off like a nice paddle, and then it got dicey at the end.
Yeah, that was got some pretty big waves there. I'm glad we didn't go all the way down Hogan. I mean, I know we stopped at the cliffs, and we'll get to that in a minute, but trying to paddle out of there was to get back further down Hogan would have been, I think we would have tipped.
Yeah.
It was too dangerous.
Yeah, even just trying to get back up to this campsite, because we had to backtrack a bit from the cliffs, was like, we're paddling into the wind.
Yeah, it was a workout.
It was a workout for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, and because of that big climb up to the cliffs, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a serious climb. What did you think of that up there?
That was amazing. That was I thought, when we were going through the marsh, I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna say was my favorite part of the day, but coming out on those cliffs and looking at that view, you can see for miles and miles, and that was amazing. It was well worth climbing up there.
Yeah, it's quite the expansive view. It's just seems to go on and on and on. You feel like you're the only person out there in the lake. Looks like you get that feeling looking down all around you that the world was just born or something. It just looks amazing, right? And then there was a hike back down.
The bushwhacking was a lot of fun too, like just finding your path. There was no real marked trail. It was just, we knew where we were going, but we got to climb over this tree that's fallen, and make your way through these trees that are all grown together, and it was a lot of fun.
It's pretty interesting. You never know what you're gonna find.
Tree branches all down my neck and stuff.
We found that really old fire pit.
Yeah.
And then we found a collapsed wasp nest that still had wasps buzzing around it. It's like, oh no. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
And then we had a snack on the beach, and we decided that our route forward was way too choppy, not worth risking.
Yeah, so then we came to this campsite, and we thought maybe it was a little bit too breezy for our tastes. So then we went across the way to the mainland there, just across from this island site, and checked that one out, and it was actually too buggy.
Yeah.
So we came back here, but on the way back here, we're like, oh, the lake looks a little calm.
Maybe we should just go and do it right now.
Maybe we should just go, and we get out there, and it's like, no.
No.
No, it was
so deceiving.
Yeah.
We can do it, let's do it. Nope.
And then looking back, like once we set up camp here, and I looked out on the water, and I was actually seeing the direction the waves are going, the wind was blowing. It It wouldn't have been a good idea. The wind would have been quartering behind us, and the wind would have been pushing us another way. It wouldn't have been a good situation at all. We wouldn't have been able to get to where we were going. So it was a really wise decision coming here, and spending the night here tonight rather than dumping and losing all that gear, and Lord knows what else would happen if we dumped.
And then we were collecting wood, and we saw the sunset happening back, on the other side there. And there's this nice pebble beach, and we sat there, and we just watched the sun, like, it just lit up the clouds. It was so amazing. And, the waves were lapping, and yeah, it was just incredible.
Yeah, I think we're gonna maybe have 2 disconnects this episode. That was good. That was really good. I also walked over to the neighboring campsite at the other end of this island. I camped there about 10 or 12 years ago, and actually that site, I guess there was a fire there, a forest fire. I don't know how it started, but a lot of that site has changed since I've been there. It's quite more open, a little bit barren, I would say. It's changed a lot, but there's a lot of firewood on this island.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no shortage of that. But this is the better campsite.
I would say, hands down. Good choice to come back.
I'm really tired. I mean, I was really excited today to get out there, full of energy and stuff, but now I'm just wiped, and I think it's just the last 2 days of like big time wind.
Yeah.
Battling the wind yesterday, and even though we had the wind today, it's you're still out there exposed to it. You think you're acclimatized to it, but I think it just takes it a bit out of you.
Well, before we go to sleep, what's the plan for tomorrow?
See how far we can get.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we're a day behind now because of the weather. We wanted to be on Phillip today, and then Radiant tomorrow, so I don't think we'll make it to Radiant tomorrow. That's a really long day. Phillip would be nice, but we'll see.
Just push as far as we can go.
Yeah.
Try and make up a bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, if we got up really early yesterday, if we got up really early tomorrow, and the weather is decent, I'm sure we could make it to Radiant in a day. There's a lot of portaging in there.
Yeah.
45, 55, 6. Well, about 6.5 kilometers of portaging. So yeah, just under 7. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
We got a 200, a 100 something, a 1500, another kilometer. Then we got a 3.5 kilometer.
Oh, it's making me yawn just thinking about it.
I am tired. I want to go to bed real soon. I'm just so tired.
All right, well, I'll watch the fire, make sure it goes out, and while you hit the hay, I'll join you soon.
Okay, man. Thank you. I'll see you in the morning.
Yep.
See you all.
Set your alarm.
Yeah.
Let's get her done.
5 a.m. Wow, this is pretty neat.
Yeah, they would have been able to store a lot of stuff in there.
I didn't see this last time I came in here. Yay! An Algonquin find! Yeah, so that's really neat to see. Oh, I forgot. I'm Mark. That's Ian. And this is beautiful Algonquin Provincial Park. We're traveling through Canada's oldest provincial park in search of history from generations past. Remnants of an alligator. Find out when this was built and for what purpose it was for.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Join us on this adventure full of history, natural beauty, and all things Algonquin. Let's go camping. That'll dry in a hurry. Yeah! Titanium! Ah! Now this is solitude. Yum, yum, yum. Good.
We're getting close to having a puddle out our doorstep. Don't push it too much, I'm hanging on.
Yeah. This is Mark in the Park. That was awesome.
Good morning. I'm all covered up in here because it's cold out and it's early, so gonna get ready to go. Getting all my stuff packed up.
It's almost 6:30 in the morning, and I like the sound of that wind. I can hear it picking up on the other side of the island. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. We got to get off this lake, but just means it's going to be an interesting ride out, I think. So for now, we're getting coffee and a fire going. I'm all packed up, ready to go. Just got to eat breakfast and pack up and get out of here. Just a simple oatmeal and coffee breakfast. Necessity of life is coffee. Essence of life is water, and nectar of the gods is whiskey or rum. Oh, it's going to be a good day. That's a fantastic coffee. Let's see, what time is it now? It is 7:07. I wanted to be in the water by 8. I think we're in good shape today. I've had my morning coffee. Pretty soon I'll be eating my oatmeal and going. It's just a 1 coffee morning. So that means I mean business. Time to get moving. We got a lot of portaging to do today. Almost 7 kilometers.
We gotta go. I'm not done my coffee yet, and I haven't had my oatmeal, so I'm just gonna combine the two. Desperate times,
Hardcore.
desperate measures.
give it a shot. That's good. Brown sugar. You want to try some?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, more for me.
I like my coffee uncontaminated.
Yeah, and you put special ingredient in it, and you put...
Well, that accentuates the coffee.
Okay, all right. Not contaminated.
So Mark,
Yeah.
where are we off to?
Hopefully Radiant. A long ways away. Long ways away.
Lots of paddling, lots of portaging.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
Lots of Algonquin today.
Lots of Algonquin.
Wow, that's pretty cool, eh? That chain and cable.
Yeah, it looks like something similar to what we saw at the alligator site.
Yeah.
Just the same cable and even the chain.
Maybe it drew logs down here and pulled them down.
Yep.
And maybe there was a chute there and all the way down through Radiant. I know that there is an old dam, or remnants of an old dam, just before we hit that 3,500 meter portage. But yeah, some guess maybe an alligator was here, eh, at one time. An old dam up there, eh? An old rock dam. I'll go check it out. Yeah, there's some old beams there. Look like probably from an old dam. I was hoping to be leaving Phillip by noon. I don't think we're gonna be leaving Phillip till 1:30. Which means we'll probably get into Rainy around 6:30-ish. We'll have an hour before the sun goes down to set up camp and get dinner going. Okay, we're good. Is that better?
Yep. We're here at the next portage.
It's September, but there are mosquitoes around. As a matter of fact, I've seen more mosquitoes than moose today. It's ridiculous. Yeah, this is what you call a buzzkill. It's a little warm-up practice for the 35-65 we got coming up later on today.
Oh, that's cold!
Yeah.
It's cold, Mark!
Sorry, I'm sinking in the mud. Ah! Welcome to Phillip Lake. We're gonna paddle down to the east end of Phillip Lake where there's a beach campsite and have lunch there before we push on. And just around the beginning of the next portage, there's like remnants of an old farm depot. It's just basically a big field. We'll go check that out. So yeah, no moose on this lake. I'm a little disappointed. Every time I've been on this lake, I've seen moose, so no moose today.
Here comes the sun.
Hey, that feels warmer than the river, eh?
Yeah, definitely warmer.
Nice. Oh, the sun's out. Woo-hoo-hoo. Lunchtime.
Corp, some cheese, some summer sausage.
Yeah. So we got a bit of a paddle after this. Probably, I don't know, 20-minute paddle. And then we hit the portage. 1,085 meters. And there's a campsite right there. And there's the remnants of an old farm depot. And it's just a big field. And if I remember correctly, in the middle of that field was a tree growing up out of the remnants of an old cabin. So we'll see how much is left. Getting deeper? Okay, then climb in if you want.
We're good.
There's a jack pine in here. There's a big jack pine. Old jack pine, eh? You can tell by their cones. Really easy way to identify them. They kind of look like little peppers. They got that little curve to them. Look like little peppers. This seems vaguely familiar. I think I should go down this way. I think this opens up into the big field. Oh, look at this. I didn't see this when I was here last time. Remnants of an old structure. Maybe this is the root cellar that was the possible root cellar that was here. I don't know. I wonder if this is the tree that I saw that was growing up in the middle of the field. Yeah, there's an old structure in here. I don't know if your camera will pick this up. There's just a tree growing up right in the middle of it. Now there's a tree growing up beside it. Wow, it's really overgrown. Not much more that I can see. That was about it. After that, I just got back to the portage and carried on with business. You can see how much land here was cleared. It must have been quite the hub of people and farming equipment and stuff. A lot of space in here that was cleared. Wow, maybe 2 or 3 acres, maybe more. Red lichen? I've never seen that before. Pink? More of it here. So it's some kind of new species of lichen or something. Interesting. More of it over here too.
Where are you, Mark?
That's it. I mean, like, the best time to come in and probably explore these these ruins are in early spring or in late fall. I mean, right now is not really a good time. There's so much undergrowth. So it's not really a good time to look for stuff.
Figures, leave the new guy behind, eh?
But that was it. That's all that I found when I was here. I'm sure there's more. If anybody took the time to travel to get their way in here early in the season or very late in the season, they might be able to discover more. But I think that's it for now, unless Iain has discovered something. Let's see if we can go find Iain. Maybe he's found something too.
I think this was the clearing he was talking about, but I don't see him anywhere. No, is that him? Hey, Mark.
Iain, have you found anything?
I have not. I just found you.
Okay. Alrighty. I found the old cabin remains that I had discovered before, plus another one I never saw before. So, but they're pretty beat up. That little grove of trees, pines right there, there's a cabin in there. But there's no roof. It's only about 3-4 feet high. You can go check that out if you want. And I have a picture too of it, so I should take another picture now just to compare. And I believe there's an aerial photo of this farm from way back when. It would be nice to compare it to what we've seen today.
It's cool, you can see the corner right here where it's all no roof, tree growing out of it. Seems to be trees growing out of everything that we find. And a lot of raspberry bushes. There's a bit of an old bucket here and some, oh yeah, there's a glass over there. Old jar, is it? Oh yeah, look at that, it's got like little divots on the bottom part. Screw top. Who knows how old it is? Maybe it's a peanut butter jar where Mama kept the cookies. Be a small cookie jar.
That's bear poop. Bear scat.
What's up?
Full of seeds and berries. Yeah, it's huge. That's a big bear.
He was probably hanging around here for a while eating raspberries.
Oh yeah. Yeah, big good food source for him, eh, in the summer.
Oh, look at this. Probably at the top of a stovepipe.
I thought it was a rock. I just walked right by it, ignoring it. Yeah.
Probably more around here.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. What was laid across here? What was this? Maybe an old tree at some point. Look at another one.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the possible root cellar that was supposedly on this camp. It's the remains of it can be clearly seen, and it was built into the ground. It was sunken in, covered up, just like the one on Burnt Root Lake.
You can see the doors over there.
Yeah. And we're like probably standing on the walls right now. Yeah, it's quite a large, much larger than the one on Burnt Root Lake, though. Wow, this is pretty neat.
Yeah, they would have been able to store a lot of stuff in there.
I didn't see this last time I came in here. Yay! An Algonquin find! Woohoo! Yeah, so that's really neat to see. All along through here. Bit of broken metal, like looks like a giant pot or something, and there's this stovepipe. And then down here looks like, I don't know, a basin or part of a wheelbarrow. These rings probably from like an oak barrel. There's a bucket in here. I think that's about it though. I don't see any more. I mean, we could dig more and more, but we should go. Don't forget, you have to look both ways before you cross the road in Algonquin Park.
I think we're good.
I may be here a while. Ooh. Oh, good man.
Smile for the camera, Mark.
Ian's going.
Affiliated woodpecker. What is the woodpecker? Paddling down the river one day. Alright, it's that time again. Turn up your speakers. Time for another disconnect. This time a little different. Some marsh paddling or marsh coasting. Enjoy. $3,565 meters to heaven.
Might as well stop and enjoy the scenery. guy. Put this pack down. I'm never gonna get it back on. I can't even lift my arm to high five.
Oh man, I was so numb. Thank you, sir.
Did it! Yeah! Just in pain the whole time.
Just fighting that mental battle all the way along the portage. Like, how far away is it? Shut up! Don't think about that. Yeah. That's good. Thank you, sir. Hey, look! Invasive species. Truck tires. We got 5 sites down here on this shore we can choose from. So those guys are playing music over there, eh? We should paddle over there and tell them to turn it off. What the hell? No open music radio, no open music playing. I don't want to listen to their. Anyways, welcome to Radiant Lake. Oh, I'm so tired. We made it.
Looks like a nice place to set up shop.
Yeah, eh? Pretty wild, eh? Radiant Lake. Look at all these red pines. Beach.
That's cool. They have, you know, the ground cut out for the sleeping pads.
Yeah, that's the junior rangers that used to do that. Yeah, that's really cool. Nice front porch, fire pit, complete with benches, a little bit of firewood left over, lots to chop up. I don't know what that's from. Yeah, that's not bad. Pretty decent. We got 2 flat tent pads here that have been carved out. Pretty decent. It looks soft and level, no roots. I hope we don't have a rainstorm. The weather's supposed to be good for the next little while, so I think we're in good shape. And the area is just loaded with beautiful red pines. Beautiful. I love this kind of forest. It's fun. There's off to your right is the trail to the Louvre. Up there. Où est le toilette? Right up there. There you go. And that's it. Let's get set up. Hey, Mark's Kitchen. If you remember last season, if you watched last season, the Birchcliff Cabin on day 4, we had pad thai, and we're having it today on Radiant. again because we're starving. We need energy. And this is quick and easy. So tear it open. I got my knife. In goes the Shiraz sauce. Big one. And now I'm supposed to put 2 1/4 cups, which is 540 milliliters of boiling hot water in there. Stir and let it sit for 20 minutes. All those peppers in there. Alright, so that one's done. We gotta wait 20 minutes and it's 9:08. 9:30. German salami from St. Jacobs, Ontario. My knife doesn't work, John. My knife doesn't work. You can eat it. It's crazy. More meat.
Sir.
You're most welcome.
Crunchy? Got some kick to it.
Just as good as last year.
Especially after hard paddle.
Is that my stomach? Did it pick that up? That's hilarious. It's growling. It's like, Oh, I am half asleep. Jeez.
Mark, what did we do today? I can't remember.
Pain.
Pain. It was pain. Lots of pain.
We did 32 kilometers in 11 hours.
Where did we start from, though?
Wogan Lake, the west end of Wogan Lake. And that was quite a long paddle, and I'm thinking, if we tried to paddle that yesterday,
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure one of us would have dumped.
It was a much easier paddle today.
Yeah, finally the weather cooperated. We didn't have to, shorten our day because of safety concerns due to weather conditions. So today was just a day where we just paddled and portaged our hearts out.
Did we ever?
I figured out the total portaging we did was 6,470 meters, so just under 6.5 kilometers. So yeah, it was, and that last portage, 3.5 kilometers, was a doozy.
And in between, long paddles.
Long stretches of paddles. Yes.
Heading down the rest of Wogan Lake, it's quite a while, quite a distance.
Yeah.
And then then we stopped off. We did the first portage.
Yeah, that was like a 215 meter portage. That was just a little hop. And then we had the 110 meter portage.
Which I thought, when we started, I thought it was going to be, what was the one that was the kilometer and...
Yeah, the next one was the 1,495
I thought that one was going to be like 144 meters.
144
And
kilometers.
so I'm walking along, I'm like, this is a lot longer than
250
meters.
Yeah.
have I gone down the wrong path? And we got to this muddy part, and I stopped and I waited there because I didn't want to cross it until I saw somebody coming, and I knew that I was on the right path because I didn't want to have to go cross it twice. And so, so it was nice to get to the other end and find out that 1,400 meter portage was done and out of the way.
Yeah, that was an annoying portage. Especially that little mud trap in the middle there. There should have been a boardwalk there.
But the boardwalks that were there were slippery.
Yeah, there were a few on that trail. Yeah, they're probably a few years old. They're still in good condition, but they start to accumulate a little bit of moss, very thin layer of moss, and it gets damp, and it's like walking on banana peels. Matter of fact, I slipped on that, and I think the GoPro camera was filming me, so it might show that. I almost lost it. Yeah, so caught myself just in time. Scary moment. And then shortly after that, my ankle just gave way and I almost lost it again. So, but that was that. And then we what did we do?
We have a paddle through a marsh that at the end of that.
Yeah, and then we came on to Phillip Lake. What'd you think of that?
That was a nice lake.
Pretty little lake.
Yeah.
That's a gem of a lake. I like that lake.
Yeah, it was good. And then we stopped. Stopped off.
That's where we were supposed to stay last night.
Right.
But because of the weather, we stayed on Wogan, right? So
we had our lunch.
And because of the weather the day before, we stayed on Lemure, right?
Yeah.
So we got a little off
Caught up today, though.
Well, that's why we had to really haul ourselves today. So we're back on track.
Yeah.
But yeah, so on Phillip Lake, we stopped at the East End campsite with a nice sandy beach there, and we had lunch. We hung around for 45 minutes. We had a luxurious lunch, meat and cheese, gorp, and protein bars. Lots of water. There's remnants of an old dam there again, just like we saw in the Petawawa just before going into Catfish. And we saw some invasive species in the creek there, in the river. Truck tires.
Yeah.
Yeah. They shouldn't be there. They're invading their water spaces. So, yeah. I'm a little disappointed to see that. I've seen them before. They're still there. Just like cormorants, they're still there. But that was a nice paddle. I was surprised too because once you get past that, there's a big straight section where it's really shallow. And we were able to paddle down it. And I know the water's low this year, but maybe not in the Little Madawaska watershed because I've paddled there in solo in August and I had to get out and walk it. And we didn't have to this time, although there were several other sections we had to later on in the day. But yeah, we did pretty good in that stretch that led up to the 1,085 meter portage or 35 meter portage. That's where we stopped in, and there was that depot farm.
Yeah, that was cool to kind of bushwhack and try and find the road. And I kind of got lost a little bit because you guys went on ahead. I think it was like playing with my mic, trying to turn it on. And I lost you guys. I was trying to listen to your voice and
Sorry.
Mark, where are you? I kept on hearing your voices a little bit, but I don't think you heard me at all.
Oh no, I didn't hear you at all. Gee.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So it was
dude.
a bit of like. I knew where I was going. I wasn't getting lost, but I was trying to find you, and I couldn't find you at all.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you how easily you can get kind of separated and get lost. You know.
Yeah, in the
when you
woods.
couldn't even hear me.
Yeah.
But then we met up and there was this big open field of like raspberries and.
Yeah. That's you can see where they cleared the land, and I guess where they had their farm and where they built their structures, and even on the way out, we kind of wandered off a little bit because you spotted looked like a foundation, and it's like, oh yeah, and we figured that may have actually been a root cellar. Then we saw another one, which could have been
right beside it.
Yeah. And so then I kind of wandered down past it and started wandering off into the forest, and it was like the more you look, the more you see. All these bits started showing up, little metal bits, the rings on like
Kettles,
oak barrels and kettles and buckets, and it was really interesting. There's a lot of stuff. I was way down at the other end of the farm, and right at the edge where the forest starts, I just kind of looked around and I figured, this is where the stuff is, because I think maybe when they abandon the depot, what they do is they just throw stuff into the forest, right? Just to get rid of it. And sure enough, there was all this stuff right inside the edge of the forest, pipes and buckets and stuff. And so that's always an idea if you're looking for stuff at around, just to check out. Just go around the edge of the depot farms, and usually right inside the forest there, you'll find like debris thrown around in there.
And you would miss it if you didn't go and look for it, but in the middle of that clearing there was a bunch of trees growing around and on top of an old structure there.
Yeah.
But if you didn't pull the trees back and have a look inside, you would never know it's there.
Yeah, I was there, I guess probably about 18 years ago, and I remember being drawn to it because it was just one tree and you could actually kind of see a little bit of the cabin walls, but now you can't even tell. Like there's all these other trees that just sprung up in it and around it, and it was really hard to see. And we spotted another remnants of a cabin on the way in as well. So I spotted a lot more this time around. The best time of the year to go and look for stuff like that is either like early spring, like just after ice out.
Yeah.
Before the bushes, the underbrush has started to grow in, and like late fall, like after leaf drop, like maybe say the 3rd, 4th week of October, right? Go in around there, and it'd be a lot easier to spot stuff like that. But
we found like a little glass jar, stuck in the ground.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So then we did that 1,000+ meter portage back onto the river. Now that was interesting.
Just a straight road.
Yeah, it's an old road. Really, really nice on the feet, eh? And actually, if you're not carrying a canoe, you can see it's actually a pretty portage.
It's very nice.
It's got some really tall pines in there. It's quite beautiful, quite a lovely trail. And then we were back on the river again.
Yep.
But how long were we on there? We weren't on there for. Yeah, we were on there for a real long stretch. That was a long, long stretch.
Yeah.
From there to the last portage of the day.
More kind of marsh.
Yeah, huge marshy area.
We kept on thinking that we would see a moose around the corner, but
I don't know what it is. Those last few Septembers, I'm not having the best of luck with moose. I don't know, it's weird.
We saw a lot of moose footprints, though.
Yes, we did.
And a lot of evidence of stuff moving around and stuff.
And we saw some bear scat, too, at the
depot.
At the depot, too. Big bear scat.
You could see he'd been hanging around there eating the raspberries.
Yeah, you could see a lot of seeds in it. Yeah, you can tell what it's done. And the color too suggested it was raspberries, but I won't go into more detail than that. But yeah, so that was quite a long paddle down the marsh. There was a bit of cliff action happening there too at one point. It's quite pretty. And we did our disconnect.
In the marsh,
In the marsh, today. So that was kind of nice. And then eventually we came to the 3,500 meter portage. Yeah.
Yep, that was probably one of the hardest things I've done. That was grueling. Pain was correct.
Yeah. No,
just like in the back of your neck. Oh, all that weight on your back.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I cheated a little because I know that the first 250 meters is really rough terrain. So I'm like, if I do this with a full load, canoe and pack, it's just gonna sap my strength. So what I did is I just carried the pack over the first 200 meters. Dropped it where the trail started to smooth out, and went back and got the canoe, dropped that, and then had a minute break, and then got the pack on the canoe, and then I just went, and I chugged. I chugged for about 22 minutes. I went by one canoe rest, which was broken, so I'm like, oh. So I keep going. Then I saw a crux in a tree, and I'm like, nah, just keep going. I felt great. I probably went about a good kilometer and a half before I said I can't do this anymore. I put it down, took the pack off. I had a drink of water, laid down on the ground for 2 minutes, got back up, put everything back on, and kept going. And I did this again for probably another 15, 20 minutes. And eventually I ended up reaching the end within 56 minutes. But oh my God, it was tough. My shoulders, they're like sponge cakes now. They're just,
Yeah.
you know, even when I got there, I was just like, just laid. It's a beautiful little grass landing, high bank above the water. And I just laid down and just like,
The whole time I was imagining, a lake on the other side, because I didn't really know what to expect. I was just imagining, like, I'm just going to jump in the lake. I'm just going to jump in the lake. But the crew and I actually divvied up a lot of the gear. We got rid of one of the packs because we had more packs than there were people. And so there was more weight than I had on usual. And, once I got going, I didn't want to stop, because I don't think, if I had set that down, I don't think I would have wanted to put it back on. So I just kept going. Pushed through the pain, one foot in front of the other. My legs were fine. It was just the pain in the back of my neck from all the tension on the shoulders. Yeah.
yeah.
And pushed all the way to the end, and
Good on you, man. I had to stop twice. Like I said, actually what it was is my whole left arm was going numb, and I couldn't even reach up to grab the gun on the canoe. I'm just like, oh my God. So it's time to put it down.
yeah.
But I just was having this war, like this mental battle in my head, and it was just like, don't look at the portage, don't look at the portage, because if you kept looking, it was just one of those trails where you could see forever. It just goes on, and it's like, oh my God. So I just had my head down. I just kept, like you say, one foot in front of the other, just kept walking, not thinking about it. And if I looked up, oh, where's the canoe rest? Oh no, there I can see the portage. Keep stretching on forever.
Yeah.
So it was like, just had this little battle going on inside me. Don't look down the trail. Eventually I made it, but yeah, it was an exhausting portage. But can you imagine doing that one in July when it's buggy?
Yeah.
And hot?
I mean, the other thing too is that we were really pushing to get here, to make up time. So that's why we were, we didn't want to do more trips down that than we needed to.
Yeah, like long portages like that, I'll tend to like paddle my brains out till I get to that portage, and then I'll just I'll do it, but I'll do it like in a more relaxed pace. Like, okay, I've done 800 meters, I'll take a break for 3 or 4 minutes and keep going on. But today it was just push.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get to this lake, and it was an 11-hour day for us.
Yeah.
But it was good. The weather held up. I mean, we had probably like 2 minutes of rain today. That was it. I think we came off Wogan, or one of the portages in between Wogan and the 1495 meter. I think we ended up getting a few sprinkles of rain, but that was it. So, yeah, it was a good day, but it was a tough day. It was a busy day. It was a long day, and we lived up to it. It didn't kill us. We killed it, right? We trumped that portage.
My reward was after that long portage, the beavers were busy on that stretch.
Yeah.
And actually got to see a beaver. He's swimming along, and I caught him on camera, just smacking his tail in the water.
Yeah, you were really pleased to see that. We haven't seen much wildlife, beyond birds, so it was kind of nice to see a beaver.
I wasn't sure what he was going to do, because he was kind of going towards the dam he was building, and then he came back. I guess he decided that he wouldn't be able to get to the dam before we did.
Yeah. Well, it was a deep pool there, so he had places to hide.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that long portage, that part of the river gets kind of technical, eh?
Yep.
There's a lot of little tiny, well, the beaver, he was really
He's
active
just-
in the area.
Yeah,
So there's a lot
he's
of
just
beaver
trying
dams.
to plug up everything. But the water's moving really fast, so it must be very difficult.
Yeah, we were able to go through all of them because he hasn't finished construction yet on any of his dams. But on top of that, there was a lot of shallow spots, and there was like a lot of sunken logs and rocks here and there, and dams mixed in. So there was a lot of right off the bat getting in, getting out of canoes and stuff. And finally, and once that was all done, it was just a lot of having to like navigate around tight corners and tight river furniture, if you will. You know, lots of stuff in the river to get
We were
around.
in the river a lot today because even after the 1,400 meter portage, we were in and out of the canoe because there were rocks and different things, sand banks and whatnot to navigate through.
Yeah, it was shallow through there too, yeah. But it was a great day, and you know, through weather radio, we're seeing that the rest of this week is just going to be stunning. So it's going to be like the weather we had on last year's Mark in the Park series. So I think you're really looking forward to that, eh?
Yeah, we'll do a bit of exploring tomorrow. What's on for tomorrow?
Well, we got a rest day. We earned it. We're back on track, so we got our rest day on Radiant. So we're going to go across the lake, and there's some historical goodies to check out there. Yeah, well, I'm not going to spoil it, so I'll leave that there for now.
Come on.
I'm tired, man. Aren't you tired?
I am tired. Very tired.
Oh, yeah, it was a great day. We hauled, and we survived, and we're here, and we got a nice fire. We got a nice beach site, which you're going to see better tomorrow in the day. And we're on Radiant Lake, and it's just such a beautiful lake to be in. It's just so big and round, and you got like great sight lines, like just big vistas of the sky. It's all red pine, this site. It's beautiful.
I think I could just curl up and sleep by the fire.
This is a great reward after